These are real-life GOKU shoes, which weigh over 50 pounds. And for the next 7 days, I'm gonna be wearing them to see if they make me faster, stronger, or quite possibly a Super Saiyan. And you're about to find out how I built these shoes, what walking over 50,000 steps in them did to my body, and if the excruciating pain I put myself through was worth it in my pursuit of becoming a superhuman. But first, in order to build these shoes, since they don't exist, I discovered a method to make them extremely heavy while still being wearable. The plan today is to make these shoes weigh over 25 pounds each. In the show, Goku trains with weighted clothes because it forces his body to adapt to the extra load. But when he takes off the weight, because he's used to carrying so much extra mass, he's now much faster, which is what I'll be testing to see if my mile time can improve just from wearing these shoes. But how am I gonna make these shoes heavier and still wearable? My goal is to replace a lot of it with lead, which is a really heavy metal. In order to make it 25 pounds, I know I need exactly 1 liter of lead. The lead would make up the entire sole of the shoe, but to make sure it was shaped properly, I took a 3D scan of the shoe that I uploaded to my 3D printer. But here's the cool part, the 3D printed filament is made from a material that will evaporate when it comes in contact with hot metal. So once I take the melted lead and pour it into the plaster mold, it'll dissolve the filament, and just like that, I'll have the world's heaviest GOKU shoes. But first, I need to get the lead, so let's go do that.
I gotta wear all this, walk through the scrapyard.
But luckily, I was able to get all the lead that I need, which brings me to the next step, cutting it down to then be smelted, which I've never done before and I was kind of terrified to do.
Okay.
For the next 2 days, as the mold was still printing, I melted down all of the lead into ingots, and 60 of those later, the filament mold was complete, and we were almost done. I say almost because I was looking at this shoe, and since the sole's gonna be so heavy, I don't think I could just use glue. And what I really don't wanna happen is to have my sole fall off while I'm walking around. So I got these screws, and I'm planning to just put them in, attach some stuff, and we'll secure it all in place after it's done.
Moment of truth, let's lift this up. Holy, that's heavy. That's absurdly heavy.
Now that the shoes are done, let the 7-day challenge begin. Before I try them on, I'm gonna go to the gym right now and I'm gonna test my run time. I'm gonna do a 1 mile run and see how fast it is and how hard it feels. 7:15. This makes my current mile just above novice, which should hopefully improve by day 7. And with the baseline set, I then put on the weighted shoes and the plan was to walk 10,000 steps in them. We're at 3,000 steps for the day, so we gotta get this number up to 13,000. Ugh. Let's see how long this takes. Oh my gosh, I expected this to be a workout. This is like walking through quicksand. It is really heavy, and also there's like no grip on these shoes either, so it's kind of slippery. I've only done 300 steps and my hip flexors are already killing me. This is crazy. In fact, the walking was so difficult that I was actually overheating, so I ditched the jacket and carried on. However, shortly after, I ran into a big problem. My left shoe is really digging into the back of my heel, so I'm gonna see if there's some foam that I can put in there to make it a little bit easier. But second of all, it's also detached from the sole. I'm gonna need to fix it with some stronger epoxy. I should have some neoprene or something around here. Let's see. No, I think we're gonna shove some foam in there. It's low-key tearing up my heel, but gotta finish it up. Can't be wimping out now. Next, I drove to an apartment store to get some stronger epoxy. Yes, I drove my car in weighted shoes. Do not try this at home. I'm a professional idiot. Anyways, everyone's looking at me. And ironically, the epoxy wouldn't be used today because thanks to the department store side quest, guess who finished walking 10,000 steps? Hell yeah. Yeah. Here's the proof. It's time to take these things off and see how I feel in comparison. Let's see if I can walk faster than 1 step a second. Whoa, 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 there's actually a difference. Dude, that is crazy. I knew it would feel lighter, but I did not expect it to feel that much lighter. First of all, that was really exhausting. I'm gonna show you my feet because you can see on my left ankle, it's like already torn up. I wanna pad the shoes a little bit better. So we'll just keep moving forward, but I'll update you on that and see if anything changes. Alright, so game plan for today. I have a date tonight, so I want to see if I can get this done a little bit faster so that I don't have to wear the shoes out on the date. Although that would be really fun, I don't know if it'll get me a second one. So today I want to see how fast I could get these steps done, but before I start, I want to just fix a couple things. Step 1, put on so much epoxy on the sole that it's impossible to take off. Step 2, reinforce the sole with as much padding as I could fit in. And step 3, make sure you're subscribed so you can never miss a video. Now let's get walking. I definitely still feel it in the back of my heel. It's better, but kind of hurts. Let's get going to the gym. And so the plan today was to get 10,000 steps, but also see what an actual workout felt like. Because I don't just want to train like Goku, I want to look like Goku. So it's officially been an hour and a half since I left the house, and I gotta say, I'm killing it. And I have done almost 8,000 steps. Now that I'm on the treadmill, like I'm cranking out over 3,000 an hour. However, the back of my heel is getting absolutely shredded. Every single step, ouch. On top of that, I was getting super hungry from all of the calories I was burning, and walking to just get food was such a nuisance that I needed to focus on just finishing my workout. Guess what this number says? 14,170. Even the dog's excited. Dax, what do you think? Yeah, okay. I shouldn't be celebrating this much though. It's still day 2. We've got a lot of work to do. I guess that was foreshadowing because after inspecting my feet, which have even more blisters, I knew day 3 was gonna be a grind, which it was. It took me until midnight to get all of my steps in for the day. It's literally nighttime. I am so exhausted and everything is sore. The new plan was to take day 4 off, allow my body to recover, and then get back into it on day 5, and depending on how that feels, potentially retest my mile time on day 6 instead of day 7. I'm curious to see if by this point I will be any faster because I'm still extremely sore. My heel has not healed. At this point it's honestly just scabbing over. But the rest of my body did feel recovered, and when day 5 came around, something happened that I wasn't expecting. I don't know if I'm just like actually getting stronger or like somehow more efficient, but like this is genuinely easier. I'm walking at a decent pace. In fact, I was sort of able to run in them, which is absolutely crazy, seeing as how I could barely walk in them on day 1. And I'm beyond curious to know if this actually improved my performance, but I think it will. And so there was no question that tomorrow would be the day I would retest my mile time and see if these real Goku shoes actually work. These shoes are literally so much lighter. This is so fun. This is the time to beat. Let's beat it. I genuinely think I'm stronger. Like, I actually think that this did something. This last week, I didn't do any training. I only walked. The goal was just to make my legs feel stronger, and I feel that my hip flexors became stronger, that my calves became stronger, the same muscles that I'm going to need to run. So if this works, there's something to this. 3, 2, 1. I did it. 6:51. That's 24 seconds faster. Leave me a comment, let me know what I should do next, and subscribe, because these videos are hard to make.